Way to go me! I almost hit start recording by accident. Hello everybody, welcome back to Trails in the Sky the Third. So, I need to stall for a few minutes so YouTube doesn't instantly kill my channel. So, that being said, let's go over a couple other things first and foremost, before we head into the main topic of today. So, I went and cleared out all of the moon and sun doors that we weren't covering today. We already covered all the sun ones. I don't know why I mentioned those. But we have star door 15, 10, and 14 to go over today. Once those are done, we will be in the, well, ending portion of Sky the Third, which should only take about 2 streams to get through. It shouldn't be too long. The star doors that I didn't show on stream were Star Door 6, which was Agate's training. The bonus we get for that is a Super Gladiator headband, which we already have from the landing port for Lacen Fortress. There we go. Took me a second. It's called Impregnable Fortress or something, I'm pretty sure. And then for the moon doors, I skipped moon door 2 and 5. 2 is Scheherazad's origin story, which actually doesn't really have a bearing on the series from here at all. It's the same reason that I skipped moon door 5 as well. Moon door 2 just details the introductions of Scheherazade getting to know Aina, and also the experiences that made her the bracer that she is by the time Sky First chapter rolls around. And then moon door 5 is the Happiness Stone, which is basically Mary going off to find a present for Matron Teresa for her birthday. In the end, she goes on a dream sequence with a baby Ragnar, which is where that model for the hard arena comes from. Although you'll probably see it in the hard arena before you see it here. So with those out of the way, you'll get the Heaven's Eye and Happiness Stone. So the Heaven's Eye is obtainable as soon as you get Scheherazade. You can also craft them, so there's nothing special about this. We've had access to it for a while. But the big one is the Happiness Stone. If you still haven't had the chance to buff out all of your Sepith, I highly, highly, highly recommend using the Happiness Stone, because it gives you bonus obtained Sepith when the character that's using it gets the kill on the enemy, in conjunction with the plus 30% Sepith gain from Josette, or the plus 20 from Reese. You can farm ridiculous amounts of Sepith. So if you don't have a full party setup like I do for every character, that's the easiest way I can think of getting them. Well, now. So we need to head down to Star Door 15 at the bottom of the Abyss, because that's our next location. Now, I should talk about how I'm going to handle this immediately. And, well, let's just say the themes covered here are quite unpleasant. Child exploitation, drug abuse, cults, all the fun things that we play JRPGs for, right? Needless to say, if any of that makes you uncomfortable, I will have timestamps after this stream, so you can just skip this segment, or you can skip out on the stream altogether if you feel so inclined. However, for those of you sticking around, you brave, brave souls, I'm not going to be reading this in any kind of special voice. I will just be using my normal speaking voice because this topic is quite serious, and I believe it deserves the, well, proper respect, I suppose. With all of that preamble out of the way, let's get into Renne's backstory and what made her the person she is. Strap yourselves in, because this is going to be a long one. Bring to me the girl loved by the world's darkness, only then shall the door open. I'm going to open the door. Grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. This is one memory fragment I wish I didn't have. I wander indifferently in a place that exists beyond good and evil, beyond life and death. There is no fortune or misfortune, no happiness, no sadness. White and black tear into me, heaven and earth torment me, I've been defiled. Where does it begin, and where does it end? I don't belong anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. But the world just keeps on turning around me. Number 1, Paradise. Which number would you like today? 15. Certainly. You've been nominated, Renne. Be sure to treat our customer with care. The place was simply known as Paradise. No doubt the building itself had a proper name, but none of us were ever told it. Nor were we ever told exactly where in the land we were, or what we were doing here. Or indeed, how we ended up there to begin with. Morning. Morning, Renne. Oh, you've finally woken up. Hi, Cross. Welcome to Paradise, Renne. Welcome to Paradise. I'm going to have to go, Renne. I've got to go and work. Again? Yeah, it's fine, though. I'll be back before long. Be a good girl and wait here in the meantime, okay? Cross was always busy with work, and today was no different. What exactly he did, and where he did it, I didn't know. But whatever it was clearly horrible. He wasn't the only one either. The other children were always going out to work too. But for some reason, no one ever called me. The other children became weaker and more emaciated by the day, and yet I spent my time eating delicious food and playing with dolls. I and only I was somehow special. Cross always referred to me as a princess. Morning, Renne. It sure is beautiful out today, huh? Kinda stuffy in here, though. Let's open a window, okay? This girl's name is Etta. She was always smiling and brimming with curiosity, poking her nose into anything and everything in the room and earning a scolding from Cross for it. Hey, you want to play with me? I want to play with dolls too. I don't mind, but do you even have the time? Don't you have to work later? Or do you not have to go and wear any weird clothes today? Cross is working at the moment, so I've got some free time. He's sure been getting nominated a lot lately. Maybe that's just what people are into these days. Etta was a somewhat precocious girl. She loved making stupid jokes and giggling away at them. Adge, meanwhile, was more polite and mature. Perhaps that was why she was nominated by so many older men. Another thing that stood out about her was the way she never once acted like she hated her work. No matter what, no matter the day, she always performed with skill and care. How come you never seem to hate your work, Adge? I thought it really hurt. I'm fine. It's nothing you need to worry about, Renne. There's a few tricks that make it really simple to manage once you know them. So don't worry about me. You just focus on being happy like you always are. Okay. That's a good girl. If you're happy, I'm happy. Then there was Crotre, whose small, delicate stature always ended with him being battered and played with roughly like he was some sort of doll. Did you seriously end up getting beaten again? Yeah, I don't know why either. They said it's some kind of new game, but I don't get it. Don't worry about me, Ren. I'm fine, honest. I'm used to it. It doesn't even hurt me anymore. As long as I can come back and find you here, I can deal with anything. Crotre was always bleeding out of sight. Maybe that was part of his charm. I'm sure beautiful people must shed beautiful blood. I'm back, Ren. Sorry that ended up taking longer than I thought it would. Then finally, there was Cross. He was basically our leader. Cross, Etta, Arj, Quatre, and me. Each of them was so dear to me, and we spent all the time we could together in this one room. My understanding, there were other children in the building, but they didn't matter to me. The only ones who did were the 4 friends I spent my days with. The 4 who lived in paradise alongside me. Chapter 2, Princess. Hey, Cross, what happened to the others? How come it's just me and you in here now? What are you talking about, Ren? What others? It's always been just you and me in here. Really? Are you sure? I feel like there were more. Nope, there weren't. It's always been just you and me. It was only later when I realized it was Cross who had hidden the others from me. Whether that was so I didn't have to worry about them, or because things had gotten so bad he didn't even think I should see them, I don't know. But he always tried to keep my eyes covered from the harsh reality of what was going on around me, so I could keep living in blissful ignorance. Let me give you a useful tip, Ren. Always be sure to say, "It would be my pleasure." Saying that makes everyone smile. No matter what you have to do, or what people do to you, always respond with, "It would be my pleasure." Funny how that works, right? After all, it's the customers you're pleasing, not you. Let me give you one too, then. I use this all the time. The best thing to do is try and imagine how your customer is feeling. Like this must feel really good for them, they seem to love me doing this, or... It's not enough to make you stop feeling pain, but it does stop you needing to worry about doing unpleasant things. Always try to think about what you can do to make the customer happy. That's key. Well, I suppose I should say something too. You should never cry and say you're sorry to a customer. Saying sorry just makes them want to hurt you more. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how sad you feel, don't ever cry. Don't ever say sorry, because no one ever forgives you, even if you do. Thanks, everyone, but I can't see myself needing any of these tips. I never have to do any work. All I have to do is sit in here and hug my dolls. I never have to leave this room. And that's how it should be. You're our princess, and you're really important to us. We're all here to protect you, and that's why we make it so you don't need to see a thing. Ren? Chapter 3, Game. What are you doing, Ren? I'm drawing. Look, this is a monster. The monster that's got us locked up in here. It's got golden eyes and black scales, and its mouth stained red with the blood of all the people it ate. The color of sin, huh? How lovely. Its stomach's gotta be white, though, otherwise you wouldn't know which side was the front. That's very true. Where is everyone? Are they all out working? Ren. There are no others. There's only me and you here. Really? Are you sure? I don't know. I'm sure. From the very start, it's just been me and you. No others. Now let's draw together, shall we? Maybe we could draw a princess next. That'd be nice. Cross was doing a good job at covering my eyes from reality, but there was one thing he couldn't completely keep from me. He was getting tired. After the others disappeared, he started taking on all of the work himself, and because of that, slowly, he began to vanish too. Let's clean you up, Ren. You're really dirty today. Thanks. You're always so kind. I'm sorry, Ren. If I wasn't so hopeless. I swore I'd protect you, and yet... What's wrong, Cross? You're not looking too good. It's nothing. I'm fine. Cross? I just told you that I'm fine. This is all your fault. Mine? Yours. Everything is your fault. You wasted no time in killing all the others. Why are you letting me live for so long? It's all your fault. Why haven't you killed me? I'm already dead as it is. Why won't you kill me? Chapter 4. Ren. Eventually, my first job came. There was no one else to take it. There was no one else to go out in my place. That's why I had to do it myself. I had to step outside that room for the first time. Major warning right now, if you've only heard the insinuations and it's getting a bit much, you might want to turn away at this moment exactly. You've been nominated, Ren. Be sure to treat our customer with care. What are you doing, Ren? Just do what you usually do. What's going on here? I was led to believe number 15 was special. She's not normally like this, I can assure you. She's usually a good girl. I don't know what's gotten into her. She's our little angel, capable of meeting all of our customers' needs, no matter what they may be. Come on, Ren, say hello. You've done this enough times now. What are you going to be today? A sweet doll? A cool boy? That wasn't me. What? It wasn't me. That wasn't me. Someone says something. I close my ears like always. Someone does something. I close my eyes like always. I do just as I always do. I do just as I always do. I do just as I always do and go out to work. The water of life. Cross once said that even those near to death could be full of energy again if they drank this. He said he was made to drink it all the time, and that its taste was sweet and syrupy. Drink up, Ren. I mixed quite a lot of syrup in today. Drink up nice and slowly. That's it, that's it. Make sure not to spill any now. Drink up every last drop. Well, please take your time. As the owner went to leave, his head seemed to distort slightly. Maybe he's getting old, or maybe he's just wearing a disguise of some kind. Oh, the medicine started kicking in. Well, Ren, why don't we sit and have a little chat together? It would be my pleasure. You're always such a good girl. It would be my pleasure. Morning, Ren. Sure is beautiful out today, huh? Kinda stuffy in here, though. Let's open a window, okay? Hey, you wanna play with me? I wanna play with dolls, too. Cross is working at the moment, so I've got some free time. So, if it's not entirely obvious, she made split personalities to cope with everything going on. And now they've all broken down. And she's having to face the horrible situation that she's in. All of them have gone. What in? Those subhuman monsters. Can people even keep living on like this? Can you even call someone in this state alive? I'm guessing she inflicted all these cross-like marks on herself. Probably in order to maintain her own sanity. She wanted to keep living that much. This is a living human. I want to see what she's like when she's really alive, Lue. Can we take her into the society? Five. The dream goes on. You're strong, Ren. That was what Joshua told me that one day. It wasn't something I'd heard before either. You're strong, Ren. Yes, I am. I'm strong. As an enforcer candidate, Ren proved to be exceptionally capable. Then one day, Joshua disappeared, and the world just kept on turning. Just where has Joshua gone anyway? All he said was that he was going to do a job, and it was going to take a while. I wanted him to know that I've become a proper enforcer now. I wanted to introduce him to my real papa and mama, too. But I suppose all of that can wait. He'll come back eventually. I know he will. Then he can tell me all about what he did while he was away. He'll definitely be back. He will. A baby? How sweet. He's so cute. A brand new life, clean and pure, untainted by anything. He's probably a good child. He'll be raised well and grow up to be a fine, respectable adult. Unlike me. That path was closed to me long ago. I hope you'll find happiness, nameless child. Why? He really is cute, isn't he? And he looks just like his mother. There. That's a good boy. I still regret what happened to our last child. But it looks like the goddess didn't abandon us after all. Now. I thought we weren't going to talk about that anymore. We need to leave the past in the past. I suppose you're right. It's sad, but it's probably what she would want too. There we go. Who's a good little baby? Ren, impure child. The past. What happened to our last child? Really? That was what I was? From the very beginning? I was... From the day I was born, I was... Ren? Oh. Lue. As enforcers, we have the freedom to do whatever we want, whenever we want. It's up to you what you want to do. I won't make that choice for you. I can't help but wonder whether they're even worth the effort of cutting down. But that is your choice to make. I wander indifferently in a place that exists beyond good and evil, beyond life and death. There is no fortune or misfortune, No happiness, no sadness. White and black tear into me. Heaven and earth torment me. I've been defiled. Where does it begin, and where does it end? I don't belong anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. But the world just keeps on turning around me. Unbeknownst to me, the world just kept on turning. But that's fine. The world is always turning for my sake. That's why I've got nothing to feel sad about. I don't care about some silly imposters. They're not my real papa and mama. I have Pater Mater now. It's so cold. Thanks, Pater Mater. That's right. I'm in the right. I'm in the right. I'm always happy. I'm always having fun. Because I'm... The world doesn't revolve just around you. And it won't always change just because you demand it. It should be obvious, because I really care about you, Ren. I won't lecture anymore. Ren, you answer how your heart tells you. It's almost dawn. Let's go. We're going to Crossbell. Once we're high enough up, switch off your boosters and switch to your regular flight engines. So, received nothingness. To summarize, for anybody who may be lost, or who's just coming to the timestamp now, essentially, Ren was taken at a relatively young age to a place where children were abused, drugged for sexual favors, essentially, and other purposes. Then Ouroboros became involved, and a young Joshua and Lue were dispatched to eliminate the people who were abusing the children. Not purely because they're abusing children, but that reasoning isn't entirely explained until the Crossbell games, so I won't go into it at the moment. But essentially, they saved Ren from that group of people, and she was taken in as an enforcer in Ouroboros. Which is why she doesn't trust people and harbors a great resentment to her birth parents, because she deems herself to be abandoned. As she said in the ending of that scene, she was seen as an impure child. Trails be fucked up, y'all. Anyway, the quartz that you obtain from completing that door is called Nothingness. Attacks inflict a random status ailment without fail. This means that any ailment that an enemy is vulnerable to, Nothingness will inflict one of those ailments with a regular attack or some kind of craft. It's a really, really good quartz, really, really strong. So if you have a slot where you can use it on somebody, I would highly recommend giving that to them. Works really well on Olivier as well, because you can use his wide AoE attack with nothingness to inflict status elements on a large group of enemies, which is amazing at clearing out regular mob fights and grinding, which is another use for that happiness stone that we got. But that's not all the doors we have to go to today. There is another, which is Star Door 10. That is a majority of the grim and rather terrible subjects covered. You should be fine for the rest of the stream, of course, although we still have a couple more things to go over. Regardless, bring to me the girl who plays with a giant doll. However, inside a trial awaits her. Should this fail to deter you, open the door and step inside. Similar to the first Moon Door, where Tita has to fight a Moon Guardian alone, Renne also has to do this fight on her own. If you pick up nothingness before this and give it to Renne, this can make the normal enemies in this encounter quite easy to deal with. However, we do not have such a luxury. So the Vogel 911EXs inflict poison and blindness, but thankfully we have the Shining Charm, so we don't care. And the Star Guardian will heal you if you attack it. These Vogels are not immune to arts, so you just want to hit them with the highest powered arts attack that you have. You can also do something like a Clock Up EX or Clock Down. Anything of that nature will be fine. But I'm just going to do a Dark Matter EX because it's the bread and butter. We are quite over-leveled at this point, so those Mirror Vogels are no match for our damage. And we'll just keep dragging the Guardian away from us so it can't do any damage. Easy peasy. Moonlight Madness is a full-field attack that inflicts, I think, about 2,000 damage, 3,000 damage on Nightmare. Either way, nothing really too threatening. If you're at my level, you should be perfectly fine to get on with this fight. You have overcome the trial. Thus, I shall grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. Loading. Complete. Gordias-class Tactical Archaism Development Plan. Author 13 Factories. Codename Patamata. Plan Overview. We intend to develop a cutting-edge archaism that inherits the DNA of the rest of the Gordias series while containing a more advanced control system. It will retain the same tactical effectiveness that was the primary development goal in previous models, while allowing for more flexible and precise strategic usage as well. Effective radius. The archaism is intended to be accessible across the whole continent. Powerful main and sub-engines should allow it to operate for several years without resupplying. Autonomous combat ability. The use of the Mars Integrated Orbital Arithmetic Logic Unit will allow for advanced autonomous combat and effective identifying of targets. In addition, the archaism's control system will make use of the operator's nervous system, allowing for reflexive, instinctive movements in combat. The operator will communicate with the archaism without being in physical contact with it. This will require a compatible candidate to be found and chosen. Dimensions. Height and weight. Overall height, 15.5 arch. Unit weight, 55 thorium, 68 thorium when fully armed. Armaments. The archaism's primary weaponry will be its orbital energy cannons. but it will have other kinds of orbital weaponry and even several gunpowder power-equipped weapons as backup. It will also have a revival system, which will use on Orbment to generate healing energy to heal or revive its operator in times of danger. Armor material. The armor plating will be made using Curdalegan alloy. Curdalegan, there we go. Curdalegan is the most fitting material to use, given that it is the most capable we have access to in all regards. For data regarding strength, see files on Gospel Plan. Current progress. New engines. Development is proceeding smoothly in line with the plans drawn up by Professor Novartis. Keep that name in mind, it's important. Tests have also confirmed that they are already capable of providing power to the actuators. However, the Professor has raised concerns about the low responsiveness of the flight engine. This is especially true for the anti-gravity generator. He concluded that the engine, as it stands, cannot be put into actual use. The possibility of using boosters to provide additional propulsion is under consideration. Actuators. Development of the actuators is experiencing significant difficulty, as it isn't possible to simply use the same ones as other archaisms. The increased size of the main weaponry means the archaism's weight during combat is significant, and, as a result, problems have been occurring in durability tests, especially with the leg joints. It may be possible to make improvements in this area by using precise control, so the weight burden is spread evenly rather than focused on one point. Main armaments. The orbital energy cannons that will serve as its primary armaments have been successfully tested. However, by order of Professor Novartis, the possibility of them becoming twin mounts is being analysed, so they have yet to be equipped. The new orbital engines are expected to be able to provide enough energy to compensate for the necessary increase in output. Control system. Experiments regarding the control system are currently ongoing. For the results of the experiments that have been carried out so far, see a separate entry. Tests of the control system continue to be performed. However, none of the test subjects have been able to realise the expected levels of precision we are aiming for. The results of the main tests conducted by Professor Novartis and his team can be viewed above. Test Subject A1. Abnormality during Phase 2. Comatose. Test Subject B3. Abnormality during Phase 3. Cardiac arrest. Test Subject C1. Abnormality during Phase 1. Insanity. Test Subject D7. Abnormality during Phase 2. Comatose. Test Subject E3. Abnormality during Phase 2. Cardiac arrest. Test Subject F2. Abnormality during Phase 2. Comatose. Test Subject G4. Abnormality during Phase 3. Comatose. Test Subject H1. Comatose. Test Subject 16. Abnormality during Phase 4. Mental breakdown. As can be seen, all of these test subjects failed to adapt to the control system. Nonetheless, the Society continues to supply test subjects, and we intend to keep performing further experiments. Future development. We have received word from the Society that development is to be temporarily frozen. Their reasoning is that the stability of the control system is in question. From now on, only test subjects carefully chosen by the Society will be taking part in connection tests. Test Subject R3 successfully completed all 4 testing phases. Note, the subject did experience a small degree of flashbacks. Test Subject R3 succeeded in communicating with Patamata, ascertaining the Society's intentions in regards to resuming development. Subject R3 has succeeded in operating Patamata, ascertaining the Society's intentions in regarding to resuming development. Received 10,000 Mira. Now, after viewing that door, a couple important things. Professor Novartis is a name that's come up many times in the Trails series so far, beyond the Sky Games, but we haven't heard much about him outside of that. He is believed to be the head researcher of the 13 Factories, which is basically the kind of technological might behind everything Ouroboros makes. From archaisms to the actual recreations of the Gospels, all of that is handled by the 13 factories. And considering Professor Novartis is at the height of them, you'd think he's quite the inscrutable bugger. But he did give Renne some subjugate parents, so I suppose he's not all that bad. Anyway, if you return to the base area after seeing that star door... Welcome back, everyone. You okay, Renne? If you're feeling tired, why don't you rest here in the garden for a bit? All the others are here. You wouldn't be alone. I'm not tired at all. I've just got something on my mind. Something on your mind? Like what? Well, I suppose it can't hurt. Let me give it a try. Potter Matter. Lo and freaking behold. There it is. I knew you'd come. Potter Matter, switch to standby mode. Right, that's that. Renne learned the Potter Matter S-craft. Hell yes, we're doing that. What? Why do you all look so surprised? This world can be directly influenced by people's thoughts. We've established that much already. So why wouldn't Potter Matter come for me? If you'll remember, all the way back in the fifth plane, near the very, very beginning, we saw an archaism that looked quite a lot like Potter Matter. That was actually him. And as such, Renne can now use him as her S-break. Let's go have a look at that, shall we? Time to kill the local skeleton population once again for the memes. Hello, Skelebomb. So, Potter Matter is a line attack that basically cannot miss the entire field. Comparing this to Renade, whatever you want to call it, it's the much better S-craft. And let's have a look. So that gigantic destructive douche nozzle that was killing you in second chapter is now at your beck and call. How nice. And those cannons we just read about, well, now they're on our side. Goodbye, peasants. Die! She is, in fact, the Terminator. So, with all of the other doors complete, there is only one door left for us to go to. And that door is Star Door 14. All is one, and one is all. All begins with one, and in the end, it returns to one. Only when you have released all of the other doors shall this one open. Let's go inside. I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. Hey, Blue Blanc. Don't just stand there. Say something. Huh? Why should I be the one to break the silence? Words have no meaning in the face of such a splendorous sight. All there is for us to do is be overwhelmed and awed by the spectacle before us. Puh. The others still haven't come back either. Kinda crummy ending to this whole shtick, huh? Red left the city and has since departed this region. Luciola is missing, but no good can come from us fretting for her safety. Oh, no worries on that front. Just think it'd be a waste for a woman like her to die so easily. You know, here's hoping she didn't lose her life for nothing. Huh, I quite agree. As for Lue, I fear the odds of him making it out alive are non-existent. Yeah. Damn it. If I had known this was gonna happen, I would have finally made him fight me. He was always finding excuses to get out of it. Well, unlike us, he had a clear and specific purpose for taking part in all this, and it looks like he may well have been able to achieve it at that. Though he met his end, I have an inkling that he, at least, is satisfied by the ending to this story. Ugh. Hard to believe it's all over.
What? What's happening? I thought we were going to use that floating city to rule the world. Then we were going to use it to rule the whole continent. So why is this happening? This wasn't supposed to happen. Wait. Did anyone ever actually say we were going to do that? Or was I just thinking it on my own? I was, wasn't I? I hate my life. All I seem to do is get humiliated by them and abused by Lord Campanella lately. And then to top it all off, this happens. Just what have we all been doing?
Lord Campanella. I'm relieved to see you well, sir.
The same to you, fine gentlemen. I'm thoroughly impressed with your work ethic. It takes guts to dedicate yourselves to your duty even at a time like this. You should see what's happening outside. It's a sight to see, you know. All the mirror in the world couldn't buy you tickets to a show this incredible. You're not too late to check out the show if you head out now. Why not go take a peek? I won't tattle.
We couldn't possibly. We wouldn't dream of abandoning our posts without permission.
I suppose you wouldn't after the training you've been through. Well, no matter. Now, mind letting me inside? I've got something I need to take care of in the sanctuary, you see.
Sir? But we've been ordered not to let anyone inside without the Professor's permission. Even you, Lord Campanella.
He's as dead as you'll be if you won't let me through. I don't think even I can get a dead man's permission, now can I?
What? But that's just not possible.
Oh dear. Is my word worth that little to you? I'm hurt. Maybe I should have a little fun with you like I always do with darling Gilbert. That might make you a little more inclined to have more faith in me.
We weren't. We never once doubted your word, so you need not trouble yourself on our behalf.
That's lovely to hear. Well then, why don't you go outside and watch the show like I suggested? You're under no obligation to guard this place now. That the man who ordered you to is no more.
Gladly, sir. Good luck with your business, sir.
It turns out that this little fruitcake is quite terrifying. They may have served their purpose now, but it seems like a terrible waste to steal their memories and toss them out like garbage. Maybe I should put them under my command. You heard the man right. Steal memories. He can do that. Ah. Even all the noise going on outside can't reach this far inside the ship by the looks of it. Just as well. I couldn't fulfill my role otherwise. Requesting access. I, Enforcer number 0, Campanella the Fool. Hereby request access to the Celestial Globe in place of the third Anguis, Georg Weissman. We've been waiting for you. Already here, I see. Yeah. It's no damn wonder that nobody can find out where their base is, 'cause it's in a damn pocket dimension. I certainly never envisioned that the Faceless would perish. Poor thing. All the trouble he caused his old friends finally caught up with him. So, how exactly did he die? I'm simply dying to know. Oh, I wish you could have seen it. The poor fellow was turned completely to salt, from the top of his head to the tips of his toes. Then it all came crumbling down into itty-bitty pieces. Oh my, what a chilling way to go. I do wish I could have been there to witness it for myself.
So, he fell victim to the result of that singularity in Northumbria, did he? Ah, I would have loved to see the real thing when it first appeared. Who'd have seen that coming? Guy never seemed to let his guard down even for a second. I imagine it was the work of a Dominion. Almost certainly the 5th, the position everyone previously believed to be vacant. Oh, right. Guess that explains why he screwed up. So, what's the 5th Dominion's name, then?
Kevin Graham. He calls himself the Heretic Hunter, and he studied under the one and only Carnelia. Seemed like a real riot, too. Twisted in all the right places. He studied under Carnelia now. Now I'm even more interested in him.
You've got to be kidding me, Abyss. After how into Leonhardt you were, you're not even gonna mourn his loss for more than a second before setting your sights on a new guy?
Oh my, you've got me all wrong. I assure you that I'm mourning Leon's death in my own way. He's not a man I'll likely ever forget, especially as I could never get him to show even the slightest hint of interest in me to the very end.
Indeed. He truly was a skilled swordsman. His loss will be keenly felt. He was the only one among the enforcers who was able to cross blades with you, I believe. Certainly of those I have fought against, I often asked him to humor me with my training. I always felt as though there was a chance he might surpass me as a swordsman one day. Makes knowing he lost his life before having a chance that much more difficult to bear. In my opinion, the loss of the Blade Lord isn't all that significant when you look at the bigger picture. A tiny, predictable loss in our overall combat capabilities. Now the loss of the Angel of Slaughter will have a much more long-term impact. Oh, the chick with the scythe? I wonder if she'll come back in the end. She seemed pretty confused. That's a decision for her and her alone to make. We may be above the Ouroboros hierarchy, but that doesn't give us the right to order them around. That is the way of the society. But still.
Professor, all of us here are well aware of the importance of the Gordias series. This is a law decided by the Grand Master. Surely you are aware of what that means.
Not how the 6th Anguis is referred to as a professor. Wonder who that could be.
You only need to look at Weissman's obsession with that black-haired boy to see what can come from being too fixated on someone. Indeed, that very obsession proved to be his undoing. Isn't that right, Campanella? You could definitely argue it was one of the factors that led to his failure, yes. Kevin seemed like he was trying to use it to his advantage, too.
Alright. I'll drop the issue. But know that as long as the 13 factories are in my care, the Gordias series will be of unparalleled importance to me.
So that all but confirms that the 6th Anguis is indeed Professor Novatus.
so I'll be keeping an eye on her from here on to observe how well the one she has is functioning. Hinting that there may be more Gordias archaisms than just Patamata as well.
Certainly, we'll leave that to you. I believe we've talked for long enough. The time has come for the Grandmaster's advent.
Is that so?
How thrilling. I see you have all gathered.
Yes, Grandmaster.
With the exception of the third Anguis, all are present and accounted for. Very good. You deserve my thanks for observing all that transpired as my representative, Campanella. I am pleased to hear as much, Grandmaster. I imagine you are already aware of what transpired during the Gospel Plan, even without me relaying the details. But allow me to fulfill my most important duty.
My.
So that's
the Aureole!
Thank you. If only the price we paid to obtain it weren't so great. Weissman, Leonhardt, to say nothing of the countless other sacrifices, both human and otherwise, that arose throughout this plan. I and I alone bear responsibility for each and every one of them.
That is simply not true. Please do not place the burden of blame upon yourself. The Faithless alone was at fault for his death.
But if anyone should take the blame, it's we Anguis who chose to overlook his behavior rather than steer him back on the right track. No. I half expected that this is what would happen, and yet I chose to leave all of the decisions in his hands. I did so because I believed that to be necessary for this world, but nonetheless, the blame is unequivocally mine.
Oh, Grandmaster. Why must you blame yourself so?
There will inevitably be a reaction to what has happened in time. But I imagine the Church will act regarding that. Let us leave the matter to them.
As you wish. I must admit that my curiosity is piqued, but it shall be as you desire. In that case, what should all of us do now?
The bells in the west have rang, and the first pact applies no more. I hereby proclaim the completion of the first phase of the Orpheus final plan, the Gospel Plan, and the initiation of its second phase, the Phantasmal Blaze Plan.
Very well. Leave everything to us. We, your loyal Anguis, in accordance with your wishes,
shall now fully devote ourselves to the execution of your plan. So, it's time for the Phantasmal Blaze Plan to begin, huh? The stage is set. At the very least, it's going to utterly dwarf the Gospel Plan in terms of both quality and scale. Things are finally about to get interesting. By the way, I might be the last person you want to hear this from, but would you mind stopping the whole peeping in thing, mysterious stranger?
Side story Phantasmal Blaze Plan finished. Received Brilliant Crown, 30,000 Mira. So, the Phantasmal Blaze Plan is essentially the Ouroboros plan that spans the Crossbell and the beginning of the Erebonian arc. And the Anguises, we don't know who all of their identities are in the series as of yet. I believe we know the identity of the 2nd, the 5th, and the 6th. The rest remain a mystery for now. And if I praise this game for anything, it's the world building. If none of the stuff that you've seen today has intrigued you, I honestly don't know what will. The series is so freaking juicy with lore bits. If you're looking to get immersed in a story, I don't think there is a better JRPG than Trails for that. And I will carry that with me to the end of my days. Unless something better comes along, in which case I'll eat my damn shoe. But that is all that we have to take care of today. We have finished every single door there is to see in Sky the Third. From Moon Door 1 all the way to Sundoor 5 Part 4. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I know it's a bit of a shorter stream than usual, but I want to put as much of the finale into one thing as possible to avoid confusing anything. So I'll be ending it a bit earlier than usual. That being said, if you have any questions, drop a comment. I will have a look at those and answer anything that I can. Leave a like if you liked the content. Subscribe if you want to see more from me and help other people see my stuff. I greatly appreciate the signal boost. And, well, I suppose I'll see you next week for the beginning of the end to Trails in the Sky the Third. Till then, bye-bye.